Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Final Fantasy XVI. Last time we took care of the, what was it, Threes Company? And, oh god, what was the other quest? When I started up the game today, it said a new thing has popped up. So, yeah. Let's go ahead over here and speak to Harpocrates. Was this just the other quest I was taking care of? Can't quite remember.
Lawsman Harpocrates, I received your note.
Oh no, this is the one I got from the... yeah.
I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government.
That's interesting.
Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously people are different. Some people, when they have this sort of stuff weighing on them, they don't really need someone to reach out, nor do they want someone to reach out. But it couldn't hurt to, you know, just reach out a little bit, Tomes, I think. Just, you know, let them know you're here, basically. This is interesting that Tomes and Dion specifically having a relationship here. Like I've mentioned before, I do love when you get later into RPGs and you just start seeing all these characters interact that normally you don't get to see interact.
The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled.
I was gonna say, wasn't that the same thing we heard about last time? Where the tribe specifically used them for tattoos? And yeah, that is also the same ink that is used for the bearer's sigils, which, yeah, it's poison and all of that. Okay, yeah, wow, that thing's used for a lot.
Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
I will try to do that, Harpocrates. Alright. Search for a wild wyvern tail near Rickmal's roost. We of course have 5 more side quests to accept over here, and then there's more that have popped up outside of the hideaway as well. Hey, Gav.
You alright? About that.
If there's anything I can do to help you kill this Ultima bloke, you just say the word, eh? Could promise to take Sid's name off my hands.
Oi!
I don't even joke about that. Anyway, thought you said you hadn't finished with it yet. Didn't I? Now, if you wanted to give me an even grander title, something to rival your Sid the Outlaw, that'd be a different story.
See.
Gav the Magnificent, Gav the Almighty, Gav the Lionheart, something along those lines? Leave that to you to decide. I'm sure you're more capable of choosing the perfect moniker for Sid's right-hand man. Right-hand man. Right-hand man, eh? I'll take it. I love Gav.
Then.
I really do love Gav. How you help best, Gav, is just stand there and keep looking cute. Alright.
With your gear, or
What do you think?
crack the crystal.
Kill a god, save the world, miss anything? No, that's pretty much the plan,
Not a very good one.
if you ask me.
But then,
I can't say I've had much practice killing gods. Now forge and kit to kill a god, that I might be able to help you with. Reckon it's the least I can do after all you've given us. That's more than enough. Can thank me when you get back. Alright.
not saying Fordian, do you?
So, I just wanted to check to make sure... Yeah, I just wanted to refresh on this. We need a dark steel and one more orichalcum
Fine.
before we can make that. So, there we go. So, we're working on Dion's quest. Why don't we work on the other prince's quest? Hey, Joshua.
Ah, Clive.
Oh yeah, let's ask you about Origin.
This is it then, brother.
One last dance with Ultima awaits. Only the Founder knows what awaits us up there.
Indeed.
But whatever we find, we shall overcome it, but not do to disappoint our friends. They all believe in you, Clive. They would follow you to the ends of the earth if they could.
You're wrong.
My friends don't follow me, they spur me on. Could have made it this far without them. Not without you, Joshua. You gave me your blessing, you made me your shield. Without you, I don't know if I would have even survived. Even when we were apart, you were always with me, and I trust you'll be with me now until the end.
Of course.
Whenever that may be. Hey.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
Don't you dare.
It's... not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will. Or something akin to it.
Ooh.
His will. How and where? In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father. I'm surprised anything survived down there. Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Go. Sure.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do. Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Alrighty. I think I am going to still do the Dion and Tomes quest first. I think before we leave, I want to grab maybe one more quest, because I do have a little bit more time today. So I would like to get a thick episode done. So hey, how you doing, Doris?
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
Let's go, I think. I was about to ask what these bearers that are currently locked in prison are eating, but actually don't answer that. You also insinuated that other people may have came and gotten to them anyway, so...
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Okay. Okay, so there we go. We got 3 quests. One with Dion and Tomes, one with Joshua, and one with Doris. So, cool. And then there's 3 more left over here, and then... there's a bunch more hanging out on the map. So, search for a wild wyvern tail near Reekmal's Roost. That would be over here by Eastla. There it is. That would be Reekmal's Roost. Do not have a good way to get over there, but yep, I'll meet you over there.
Seems this place has been flooded twice over.
Oh? Okay. Little something out of Clive there.
Flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Alrighty. So yeah, we're obviously here.
Straight home now.
Well, that's what I need, so unfortunately I think I'm gonna have to be taking you out. Because I don't think it's gonna let me pick it up. Otherwise, so... Yep. And... bang... bang... and one of these. This is not going to kill you. It's gonna get pretty damn close, though.
Nice try.
Very, very cute. Ow. There we are. Come here, you. Jumping around. There we go. Beautiful. Bye-bye. And that allows me to get this, because I don't think I could have picked it up in combat, so... Very pretty flowers.
There they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
We're gonna go give Dion a bouquet of flowers. Alright, so... that's that taken care of. Now it's off to... here. Ooh, right there. So, let's go check in over here. So this is the quest for Joshua, because this is the Undying right here. I do need to buy more potions.
Welcome, welcome.
Apparently you have something new for me. Gungnir. Increase Gungnir damage by 30%. That's actually a pretty crazy high increase. 30% increase in damage is pretty crazy. In all honesty, that's a big one. I might buy it just to have it, if I'm going to be honest.
Fine choice.
Odin, it definitely feels outside of my skill range, at least right now, but
Go
I will
safely.
grab it nonetheless because I have the money, so. Oh my god, and there's another quest to accept right here. Duty Undying 2. Yeah, because it's both the same character. Okay. Well, we might as well accept that too.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father.
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
I know that I ask much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all of Rosaria striving as one might we overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. It shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you, your father. God, every single time I see, someone in this kind of position refer to a group of people as savages, blech.
An inheritance.
Sorry, Dad, but that's
It would
disgusting.
seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Alrighty. I should have mentioned in regards to my comment about Roswell using the word savages, the reason that in particular is something I hate is because it was so often used by specifically Western politicians and pretty much all Christians to refer to anyone that was outside of the scope of Christianity, or just not from Europe a lot of the time. So and it was always used in like a context of, oh, we need to save them from themselves because they're savages. They have these dirty pagan ways, not the fantastic ways of us Christianity. And savages is specifically something they would always use as a term for that, so it always just strikes me as blech.
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? A continent teeming with orcs and Akashic.
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the Third Chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved.
Yeah, no, we can go help out for sure.
It would not. But Ash is a big place. Can you be any more specific?
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned a village where he had heard the cult were wont to assemble. Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the southern reaches of Waloed. If aught ill befell him, I expect it did so there.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
You are much too kind, my lord. Go then, with my hopes, and may the Firebird's flame ever burn in your heart.
All right, another follow-up with the Undying here. Could potentially be the final quest with you, Cyril.
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Madness, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the Third Chair first, shall we?
Let's concentrate on going to go learn about this person that apparently knew our dad first, why don't we? Hi. Cyril's guest. Hi.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen.
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Yeah, I don't know if I want bracers with something that comes out of a griffin tummy.
His wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Alright, well, let's, oh wow, it's just right there. Okay, that's gonna be a pretty easy one to find. I wonder if this is gonna be like my ultimate bracers, because we don't have some of those. I of course do have Ouroboros, which is the best belt, but I do not have the best bracelets. And I guess he said it was an armband, not a bracelet. So, scratch that idea. I am a little bit scared of this thing because, well, no, I did just buy more potions. I knew I was out of potions earlier, so I was a little bit intimidated, but, no, we got our potions back now. Hello, Simurg.
There it is.
Hello.
Field.
You're a very pretty griffin, I must say. I like the dark feathers. Nice touch. That was a massive failure. Oh god, you have that attack. I hate that attack. There you go. And bang. Let me go ahead and hit you with one of these to try and break you. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and hit you with an impulse. If I can hit you with a pile drive, I don't think I'm going to be able to. On time, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a wind up out. Oh my god. Uh-huh. That certainly was something. Couldn't quite see what was happening there. It is rough that a lot of the wind magics just make it like incredibly hard to see sometimes. When enemies use them and when you use them. Like both make it really hard to see. Oh. There we go. Wanted to break you there. Whoa, okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit you with one of these. Uh-huh. There we go. Maxed out already. And wind up. And Giga Flare. And that should be game. I don't think you're gonna drop me anything that I need. I mean, you could drop me an Orichalcum. That'd be really cool if you did. That would be pretty dope. If you could do that for me. Nope, just the 2 Heartstone. Griffins suffer something akin to the crystal's curse, their flesh slowly turning to stone over a lifetime of channeling ether. Unlike bears, however, the effect is far more gradual and limited to a sac around their hearts, the slower progress of petrification resulting in the formation of a gemstone of rare beauty.
Is this the Heartstone?
I
Interesting.
expect Lady Goditha will know.
Suppose that's why it's called a Heartstone, because it's made from a sac that is close to their heart. Okay. Certainly would make sense if that were the case. Alright, so Goditha. That reminds me, I did want to spend my points here just to get my final level for Limit Break. Don't really know if there's going to be anything else I'm going to want to upgrade. if I'm going to be honest. I think what I would be interested in saving up for next is potentially mastering Judgment Bolt. But I think that's really all I have left that I want to do. Here you are.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
Oh yeah, that was something I wanted to say, but it totally slipped my mind. This is totally Karen's voice actor, just going a little bit less hard on the accent, right?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
And now I know what a lapidary is, because we had to look that up earlier in this playthrough. This is the only time I've ever seen that word.
Complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that his Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
I mean, that is certainly some dedication. Wow. So sorry, I missed. Did I actually get an item there? I don't think so. I don't think we did. Just check. Oh wait, nope, there it is. There it is. Never mind. Yeah, it would have been over here. That does make sense. My bad. Fashioned after those pictured adorning the wrists of the mythical founder in ancient engravings, Archduke Elwyn intended to gift these bands to his beloved sons upon their coming of age. that they might serve to remind them of the unbreakable bonds they share as proud scions of the ducal line, and the unwavering devotion that would be required to see their duty done. Cool. Not the ultimate. It's not gold bordered like this is. So I don't think it's the ultimate, but it's quite good. Quite good. Yeah, I wasn't actually looking at the TV at the end there, so that was my bad. Sorry.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril.
Well, that's definitely the item
He's waiting.
that's going to be displayed in Clive's room. Alright. Alright. Visit Archduke Elwin's memorial. So we need to open up the world map for that. That's obviously going to be back in Rosaria. Hawk's Cry Cliff. There it is.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Unwavering will
Ooh.
and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to actually see some dialogue there. Alright, well we're basically down here now, so I was planning to cut.
It's just back there.
But not needed. Give me the helmet of my father, please.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then?
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
God, that would have been a fantastic quest to have be the final one that I did before heading to Origin. That would have been amazing. I love all of these closure quests. They're so satisfying, seeing everything wrapped up with a nice, neat little bow. Joining hands with Joshua. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Oh. Interesting. That's cool. You'll be useful for... Yeah, you'll be useful for, battles against, like, bounties and stuff like that. So, yeah, because I noticed once I had talked to you, yeah, you did join the party because you were rolling with me for this whole thing, so... Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So I could journey to Balmung Dark. We're 44 minutes into the video. I think I'm gonna head back to the hideaway, and we're gonna follow up on this whole Dion thing, because maybe there's more steps to it. Before I go diving into another quest, so... We do have some quests lined up to take care of next time. So let's make sure we focus on doing... Let's finish what's on our plate first, before we go get another one.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
Here you go. Whoop. Records suggest that the wyvern tail was first cultivated for the purpose of distilling a purple dye from its petals. However, when the tinted blooms were discovered to lose their hue over time, the gardeners of early Valisthea made the fateful decision to investigate the practical properties of their roots instead. And that's how we started making poison tattoos.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
Yeah, let's go get Dion, so we can see you two have a cool little reunion. Mentor and mentee. Alright, Dion. You get over here, Bahamut.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
No. It is time, then.
It made it sound like you were asking him out on a date, Clive.
No. Only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Dion, I was just hoping you would accompany me to the ball. There's quite a beautiful ball happening later this evening.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology.
That's a good line.
Time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environment in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
God, Harpocrates is the grandfather I've always wanted. And yes, it is important to... The line of... The folly of youth needs no apologies. Yes, everybody screwed up in their youth, and people change, and people can become better, and you don't need to kind of get stuck on those things and stuff like that, and our roots don't define us. This was... A lot of these quests are very, very wholesome and sweet.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed, I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A Stolas quill. Or more precisely, my Stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day, you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
There we go. Alrighty, A Tale to Tell. That was a good one. That was a good one. I liked that one quite a bit. So, Stolas Quill, Lordman Harpocrates' best-loved writing implement, whose nib has scribed many a learned tome. And yep, that's just the quote. And Bahamut's Mercy reduces Gigaflare cooldown time by 6 seconds. A gift from the very first Emperor of Sandbreak to his infant son. The ring has graced the hand of every dominant Bahamut since. The ether it absorbed from the icon over the years, aiding the next Imperial Scion and drawing out the full potential of their bloodline. Now the Empire lies in ruin and that bloodline is broken, so let it be with Bahamut, as was always intended. Gigaflare cooldown by 6 seconds. I mean, that's pretty good, but I don't use it enough to feel like that's gonna be super worth it. Alright. Well. More quests done. There's a new quest to accept over here at my reading table. Why don't we just go ahead and accept this so I have that taken care of for next time. And that's 2 more things on our little wall of memories here. Running out of slots. Rusted Battle Helm, Stolas Quill. We have 7 left, I believe, if I counted correctly. Here we are. Alright, what you got for me, reading table? Bringing together 3 men from differing backgrounds was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did, for a better Valisthea. The triunity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all. One that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You have paved the road for us with your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle, Byron. Though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart. We would be poor friends indeed if we do not seek to lighten that burden, even if but only a fraction. Before we depart for the skies, I would speak on this more in private. Yeah, that sounds good. A Jill quest, we need that.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Bow bow. There we are. And what was the final one? Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Rosaria sits on my shoulders, the fate of its dominant sits upon yours. But are we not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield, now let me choose to be yours. Is not what our father wanted, what Sid wanted? To cast aside fate and forge our own paths? Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. Hey. Damn, what a wholesome part of the game, jeez. Alright, well. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Final Fantasy XVI. And I'll see you next time for some more.